Focusing on our first big segment then, Argentina, are they the new favourites to win the World Cup after that wild defeat of the Netherlands? Obviously, they were 2-0 up with 7 minutes of regulation to go. Somehow, in the 101st minute, the Netherlands equalised off a crazy trick-free kick routine that made it 2-2. Took it to penalty kicks, but fair play to Argentina. They rallied in extra time. They were much better, nearly won it, hit the post, had chances in extra time. But they went to penalties. And then Emi Martinez was the hero, 2 penalty saves from Van Dijk and Berghuis. And then Argentina got the job done and won it. They made it very difficult for themselves, Andy. But reflecting on that game and then bigger picture, it seems like Argentina, there's some kind of destiny or written in the stars about them and Lionel Messi winning this. So where are we at with Argentina at this World Cup?
Yeah, I think that was a lot of the logic that I had coming into this tournament and picking Argentina, and obviously the experience of winning a Copa America last summer. This is the best that we've ever, the most functional, I will say, that we've ever seen Argentina, because for all the talent they've had over the years, they have been a chaotic disaster so many times. Diego Maradona managed Argentina at a World Cup in our lifetime, Joe. We were adults when that happened. And it's like that's where Argentina kind of began last decade, and to now see them into the semifinals once again. Obviously, they've been to a final during that period as well. There is an X factor, it feels like, about this team, and to survive blowing a 2-goal lead that late into a game. We saw their heads drop. They managed to control and be the better team in extra time, and then they just survived the penalty shootout. Every team that wins a tournament has one of those games where they probably shouldn't have won, but they somehow found a way and they survived. And I think looking back on this game and the way it played out, especially, this might have been that one for Argentina.
And actually, when you look back at the whole tournament, losing to Saudi Arabia in the opener, and everyone had kind of written them off. And to be fair to them, they've bounced back well from low points throughout this tournament, or when they've been pegged back, or they found ways to win games. So, yeah, I like how you always bring it up that you did pick them to win the tournament for all tournaments. So fair play to you. I'd be doing exactly the same if I was you. And it's looking pretty good right now. I mean, no disrespect to Croatia, but obviously Argentina are the heavy favourites to win that semi-final. And then when you add that into, we're going to talk about Brazil's defeat to Croatia, what that means for them. But the fact that they're big South American rivals who they thought they were going to play in the semi-final, they're now not there. The confidence levels, the momentum, again, that destiny factor with Lionel Messi, it's all kind of flowing in a direction for Argentina, right? And I like how they're playing different ways. They went to a 3 or 5 at the back against the Netherlands, and then they're not too high on themselves, if you know what I'm saying. They're okay with doing the dirty work and defending deep and countering and playing all kinds of different ways to get a job done in the tournament. So they've got to be the favorite to win it now, right?
Yeah, I think they are. I think whoever came out of that side, the favorite was going to come from that side of the bracket, just the way that it lined up. You get an Australia in there, and Argentina gets them, and that's about as straightforward of a path into the quarterfinals as you can have. And so that's kind of a free hit already that they've had. Meanwhile, Croatia, 120 minutes to get through into the quarterfinals, 120 minutes to get into the semifinals. We're already talking about a team who, some may call it experience, some may call it age. And so there are questions, I think, for both sides to deal with that point, though. But I'm curious, do you think Argentina is happy or disappointed to not get Brazil in the semifinals? Because the entire world wanted it.
Yeah.
Did they want it, though?
True. I think I actually heard Pablo Zavaleta talking on TV here in England, and he was the same. He was a bit disappointed. He was like, I actually kind of wanted to play Brazil to knock them out and get that rivalry in a World Cup semi-final. And I think
winning a World Cup while beating Brazil on the way just means that much more.
Yeah, and I think the neutrals everywhere as well. That kind of spectacle would have just been incredible. But the spectacle against the Netherlands was pretty sensational as well, right? That was an all-time classic game. The swings of momentum. Those teams have had so many great moments in World Cup finals, semi-finals, quarterfinals in the past. So you can add this one to one of the best games of this crazy tournament, and that will live long in the memory. That is absolutely sure. We mentioned it there. Lionel Messi obviously scoring a penalty kick, great assist, coming up clutch for Argentina once again against the Netherlands. For him, do you think that the entire team has just galvanized them and taken them to a new level? Because, this is probably his last chance to win a World Cup, and it's pressure at certain moments. We saw the way that they were shaky against the Dutch late on and obviously let that 2-0 lead slip. So it kind of works both ways, right? It inspires them, but then it stacks up that pressure on them as well to deliver for arguably the greatest player of all time in his final World Cup. So, yeah, I'm just really intrigued to see how they've been dealing with that mentality-wise. And then if they go ahead against Croatia in the semi-final, what do they do then? Because it didn't really work what they were doing against the Netherlands.
Well, I think the approach from Croatia, if they go behind, will be a little bit different than what we saw from the Netherlands. I don't think they don't have the Mario Mandzukic of yesteryear who would perform very, very well in that Wout Weghorst role that the Netherlands used to get themselves back into the game, while also, of course, being much more dangerous from open play and other facets of the game. So I think matchup wise, I think it's pretty good for Argentina just because as good as the midfield for Croatia is, I have zero faith that they can create consistent scoring chances, and they have not shown it throughout this tournament. All credit to them. They have found a way to win games. But when you come up against a team like Argentina in the semifinals of the World Cup, I think you need to really be able to create scoring chances. And so I think it's early. We still got time, and maybe I'll flip the other way. But I think early on, I think it leans towards Argentina.
Okay, so we're saying that Argentina are the favourites to win the World Cup. Obviously, on the other side of the bracket, you've got the reigning champs, France, who are playing England, and you have Portugal as well. Obviously, Morocco too. Let's not write them off, but they're the outsiders in that group of four. Do you see any of those other teams being better than Argentina or on the same level? Or does Messi, if they are on the same level, just kind of take them over the edge, and that's why they're favourites as well?
I think of the teams that are left, I think Portugal's a really tough matchup. A tough matchup for anybody, but I think specifically for Argentina because of the attacking midfield talent that they have. And we saw the frailties, the struggles of Argentina to control the game late on when the Netherlands got desperate. And I could see them having trouble early on in the game against Portugal. And we've not seen aside from the game against Saudi Arabia, we've not seen Argentina play from behind in this tournament. And so it's a completely different game. It's a completely different story, especially in the knockout rounds when you're behind. So I think Portugal's a very, very tough matchup. And I think a lot of people are maybe sleeping on them just a little bit because France gets the headlines in the other game on that side of the bracket.
I actually think England and France could have some joy from what we saw late on for the Dutch. Yes, it was desperation, but when they went more direct, Argentina, we saw the lack of ability in the air defensively and also just picking up the scraps. And I'm not saying England and France are direct teams, but they had those options going up to Harry Kane being more direct, going up to Olivier Giroud being more direct. So maybe, at this point in the tournament, they're just looking for little edges, right, when you're going to come up against the team. And those things there, I think, give England and France a chance against Argentina. I think it's pretty level. But then for me, the Messi factor, be it the inspiration to his teammates or just the genius that he has, as we saw for that assist to unlock the entire Dutch team, basically, is otherworldly. So, yeah, we both agree. I think Argentina are the favourites right now. But as we know, this World Cup, the favourites haven't always fared well. And there's plenty more twists and turns ahead. So head over to Pro Soccer Talk at NBCSports.com for all the latest news on Argentina's run to the World Cup semi-finals. Let's see if they can go to the final. And if Messi will finally get the trophy he covets so much and probably deserves, let's be honest, for all he's given to the game over the last few decades. It's going to be crazy for Argentina and Messi.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.